It feels like I'm really piling onto Ford this week, but frankly, I don't know why they don't just do the right thing. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. My name's Sam Evans. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Great to have you guys, and welcome back everyone else. To you guys, new subscribers, make sure you check out some of the 2,500 videos we've done over the past year and a half. There's a lot of information there about Ford and also about the automotive industry that you may not have already known. In fact, you probably won't have already known a lot of it because a lot of it the media doesn't tell you. Interesting. Why would they do that? Ford has a plant, a factory, right? It makes the Ford Escape. Now, Ford is investing $700 million into its Kentucky truck plant, which makes the Super Duty. They don't plan on electrifying the Super Duty at all, which is quite a surprise to me. Anyhow, Ford are investing $6 billion in 2 battery plants in the state, but they have a factory in Louisville which builds the Ford Escape. Now, Ford's doing something that I think is, it's just bad business. I mean, General Motors, it has already said it plans on not really firing people. In fact, it doesn't want to fire people at all if it can help it. It wants to retrain them. So General Motors has done what I've been saying Ford should be doing for a long time. Ford just fired 8,000 people. It fired 200 engineers and sent them home packing that same day because they were casual workforce or they weren't, permanent employees. And I think, well, why not retrain them? Surely some of them have to have some transferable skills, right? I mean, you all told us, Ford, Toyota, you all told us it'd be easy to make EVs. You just, re-equip your factories. It'd be really quick and really easy. So why do you need to fire all your staff and then hire new ones? Well, the thing is, I think Ford should just be open. It's very obvious what they're going to do at this factory, right? The company, surely the staff have to have some suspicions. So if you think there's a good chance it's going to happen, wouldn't it be better if Ford just said, yeah, it's going to happen anyway? On a stage below the twin spires of Churchill Downs Racetrack, Ford Motor Company CEO Jim Farley choked up while addressing hundreds of factory workers to reveal the automaker's redesigned heavy-duty pickup line. Kentucky matters, he said on September the 27th. All of you matter. And the Super Duty matters. The 8,000 staff we just fired, they don't matter. The next 12 months will prove the sincerity of Farley's emotional statement. I think it can prove that it was false emotion. There's no doubt the bluegrass state of Kentucky is important to Ford's future. The automaker is investing $700 million in its Kentucky truck plant to build the next generation Super Duty, which will be powered purely by gasoline. And it's among its most profitable vehicles. However, I'm about to make a video on a competitor vehicle, which is in fact almost identical in size. You may have never heard of it. They're building an electric version of the Ford Super Duty. Really, will Ford in 2035, will Ford's customers in 2035 want a non-electric Super Duty? I doubt it. You know why? Electric motors have way more power than gasoline motors. By the time 2035 comes along, the battery technology will be there to get easily 1,000 kilometers of range, easily in a vehicle that size. You'll be able to tow enormous sums. Why in 2035 would you really want a gasoline-powered Super Duty? That's what Ford's saying that they're planning on. I find that hard to believe that they think that's going to work. But anyhow, that's what they've said so far. Until that changes, that's all we can go on. However, what's unclear, what Ford is keeping quiet on, is their other assembly plant in the state and whether or not that matters to the company. The Louisville assembly, about a half-hour drive southwest of Kentucky, produces the Ford Escape, the automaker's third best-selling vehicle in the US, and it also makes the Lincoln Corsair, the luxury brand's top seller. However, its future is in doubt. There's rumors that it will simply be shut down, but Ford, it doesn't want to say anything. You know why it doesn't want to say anything? Because it doesn't want its employees to go looking for other jobs. If Ford doesn't say anything, it keeps its mouth shut, it holds the power. It can simply fire the staff when it suits it. But if Ford tells its staff, then its staff are going to start looking for jobs. And then it could be a problem for them in the short term. So you see how doing what they're doing now benefits Ford, but not Ford's employees. Although Ford has unveiled mid-cycle updates for both vehicles, Automotive News reported in August that the company has no plans at all for a new generation of either compact crossover. In other words, Ford isn't going to make the Corsair or the Escape probably by 2025. And that means there's no product plan at all for the factory. And Ford is about to head into negotiations with the UAW. The UAW, they're not very happy. It's 100% on our radar, Todd Dunn, president of UAW Local 862, which represents Louisville Assembly and Kentucky Truck, told Automotive News. Is there concern about product? Absolutely there is. It's always on members' minds as far as in reinvesting in Louisville and continuing on. We want to make sure every North American assembly plant has production across the board. Well, clearly that's not going to work. We all know what Ford's going to do to Ford Blue. It's going to get rid of it. It's very obvious that they're just going to take the profits from there. That's their plan. They've already even said it. Put them into Ford Electric. And then when people no longer buy gas cars anymore, just shut down Ford Blue. And obviously, over time, demand for those vehicles is going to die down. And it already is, clearly. So they'll just close plants, close assembly lines as they see fit, as demand sees fit. Farley himself has hinted the Escape doesn't have a future in North America. We're going to have passion brands, he said of the company's gasoline-focused Ford Blue division. We're not going to have commodity products like Edges and Escapes. So he's already said the Edge and the Escape, they're no more. The only gasoline-powered vehicles are passion ones like the Ford Mustang. Now the thing is, Dunn and the employees say they've had zero communication from Ford whatsoever. So the only thing they know of the fact that the Escape will no longer exist is what I just told you. Ford's Jim Farley's media snippet disclosing the fact that eventually, who knows when, could be next year, could be in 5 years, the Ford Escape will no longer be a vehicle being produced, period, anywhere. However, the UAW do have a bargaining chip. That didn't work for the 8,000 staff that just got fired. Maybe it will for this. Ford spokeswoman Kelly Felker, in an emailed statement, declined to say whether Ford had plans for the plant's future, but noted that workers will soon begin producing freshened crossovers. Louisville Assembly Plant and our employees there are an important part of Ford's manufacturing operations, she said, until they're not. The assembly plant opened in 1955. It's Ford's third oldest in the US, according to company records. It has produced the Explorer, the Bronco, the Ranger, and a number of other vehicles. It currently employs 4,100 people, including 3,900 hourly workers. So there you go. Ford's already set themselves up to be able to just fire them, basically, and get rid of them on that day. That's what Ford does with hourly workers. It just says, see ya, we'll pay you for the rest of the day. Other than that, bye-bye. During the last union contract talks in 2019, just after Ford redesigned the Escape and Corsair, the automaker pledged to invest $100 million in the plant through 2023. Ford has met that commitment, Felker said. Now, interestingly, ahead of the 2019 negotiations, General Motors threatened to close 5 North American plants before ultimately keeping 2 of the 5 open. However, this is not the only Ford plant that's probably going to close within the next few years. However, this is not the only North American manufacturing plant that's going to close within the next few years. The future of General Motors' Chevrolet Malibu plant in Kansas City and Stellantis' Jeep Cherokee plant in Belvidere are up in the air, meaning they'll be shut within a couple of years as well. What we're going to see over the next decade is automakers make a transition from internal combustion to battery electric vehicles. It's going to be a major shakeup of the manufacturing footprint in the United States. Stephanie Brimley, Associate Director of Research and Analysis at S&P Global, said recently. It could feel uncertain for a while as automakers figure out how their manufacturing footprint is going to make their transition, exactly what the timing is, and exactly what product goes where. In Ford's case, they've said electric vehicles will account for 40% of their global sales by 2030. But they've recently raised that to 50%, and they've now teased a new battery architecture that could underpin a wide variety of second-generation EVs. But it won't be built at plants like this Kentucky plant. It'll be built at Ford's new plant that it's building. It's EV University. Now, interestingly, Ford hasn't actually closed an assembly plant since Twin Cities Assembly in St. Paul, Minnesota closed back in 2011. Now, you're probably thinking, yeah, but the Escape is a good seller in North America, and it's true. The Escape and the Corsair, though, their sales have fallen in recent years. Both, though, are still selling pretty well. But that's going to change very quickly over the next few years as a plethora of electric vehicles hit the market. Remember, EV incentives are only going to increase as well over the next few years. That includes incentives for battery production. Personally, I don't understand why Ford doesn't just tell everyone what's going to happen. Tell them. There's no plans to make a new Escape. Just be open. They already think it. Just make it public. Tell them what's going to happen. Tell them when it's going to happen. Ford surely must know that. If they don't know that, then far out. They're worse than I thought. They must know. Tell the employees. Then tell them, hey, you can upskill. We have a course. You can go to this course here and you can be retrained for our EVs. Or tell them, you need to start looking for a new job. By 2025, this factory will no longer be making vehicles and you will no longer be useful. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.